The next NBA season is going to feel completely different because these 10 teams were the biggest winners of the offseason, putting themselves in a much stronger position heading into 2026. In at number 10, I've got the Detroit Pistons. Last year, they made NBA history by becoming the first team ever to triple their win total from the previous year. And somehow, I believe they're about to get even better. I really like what the Pistons were able to do this offseason. They brought back Paul Reed, who gave them some valuable bench minutes in their first round series against the Knicks. But more importantly, they added 2 new faces who will fill much needed roles, Duncan Robinson and Caris LeVert. Floor spacing was the biggest reason the Pistons improved so quickly last year, giving Cade Cunningham more room to operate in the mid-range. Both Robinson and LeVert will only amplify that. For years, Robinson has been one of the NBA's best shooters, a deadly three-point specialist who can swing games by himself when he gets hot. Each year, Robinson's becoming more well-rounded, improving his ball handling and playmaking to complement that shooting. Last season, 73% of his shots came from deep, where he was able to knock them down at a 39% clip. And even more impressive is his incredible 43% mark from the corners in particular. In my opinion, he's one of the best role-playing floor spacers in the entire league, and he's going to be a perfect replacement for Malik Beasley. Then we have Caris LeVert. While his three-point shooting isn't quite at Robinson's level, he's no slouch either. 47% of his shots last season came from deep, and he made them at a 37% clip. But where he really shines is creating off the dribble, getting to the mid-range where he can knock them down at roughly a 40% clip. But what makes him such a great fit next to Cade is his ability to be able to play without the ball as well. With 64% of his 2-pointers and 79% of his threes coming off assists last year, he'll slot in perfectly to Detroit's offense, capitalizing on the gravity that Cunningham provides. And while those were Detroit's main offseason moves, they're also getting back a key piece who technically isn't new, but he missed most of last season due to injury. Jaden Ivey. Before his season was unfortunately cut short, Ivey was off to a really hot start to last year, averaging 17.6 points, 4.1 rebounds, and 4 assists on 46% shooting. His athleticism and speed make him a dynamic backcourt partner for Cade. And the most exciting part was the improvement with his three-point shooting, hitting a scorching 41% from deep. So getting Ivey back into the fold fully healthy, combined with the additions of Robinson and LeVert, in my mind, will make the Pistons even better. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they push for a 50-win season in the Eastern Conference next season. Now, in at number 9, I've got the Portland Trail Blazers. Of course, their loudest move was bringing back arguably the best player in their franchise's history with Damian Lillard. Even though Dame is set to miss the entirety of next season anyway, recovering from that Achilles injury, I still think he's going to have a massive impact in a mentorship role for a young Blazers squad that finished last season strong, going 22-18 down the stretch while ranking top 5 in defensive rating during that span. Another veteran with a similar impact, but who will be on the floor, is Drew Holiday, acquired in the trade from Boston. Holiday's elite defense and championship pedigree make him the perfect on-court leader for this developing group. Portland also re-signed Matisse Thybulle, another defensive asset, showing their clear commitment to building a strong defensive identity. And speaking of promising young talent, rookie Hanson Yang has also turned heads. Many are already calling him the baby Jokic because of his advanced feel for the game and playmaking from the center spot. His emergence, along with the second-year big Donovan Clingan, became even more important after Portland waived DeAndre Ayton, freeing up minutes for these young bigs to develop. Then we've got Scoot Henderson. With Dame out, this season will give Scoot the runway to take full control of the point guard role without the pressure of trying to have to fit in with Lillard. After a slow start to his rookie campaign, last year he showed some real flashes. And this is the perfect opportunity for him to showcase his ability to flourish at the NBA level. Surrounding him with high-level role players such as Thybulle, Yang, and having vets like Holiday and Dame to assist him could really fast-track his development. If things break right, we could be looking at a breakout season for Scoot Henderson, and that alone would make Portland one of the more exciting risers in the league right now. At number 8, I have the Milwaukee Bucks. Their off-season was absolutely wild. 19 moves already, with likely more to come. While a lot of those were minor, waivers and depth signings, there were some massive franchise-altering decisions also, like waiving Damian Lillard to bring in Miles Turner. But we have to answer the big question: are the Bucks now better or worse after these moves? Honestly, I think they're better. This comes from a Bucks fan, so take it with a grain of salt. But the Lillard-Giannis pick, that's why Kevin Porter Jr. was able to find instant chemistry with Giannis last season. KPJ's ability to probe, score in the mid-range, and play at different speeds really reminded me of what a prime Chris Middleton was able to do with Giannis. Re-signing KPJ on just a 2-year, $10 million deal was a massive win, as he was arguably one of their most important players down the stretch of last season. Then, the addition of Miles Turner is one that's perfectly going to slot into this system as a floor-spacing big, a rim protector, and somebody who can play in a faster offensive system. And since Milwaukee isn't done making moves just yet, they could climb even higher on this list. But for now, I believe they need a better fit at the small forward position, considering Kyle Kuzma is still set to start there next year. So for right now, they're at number 8 until they can make another move. Now, coming in at number 7, I've got the Miami Heat. Pat Riley has finally awoken from his eternal slumber and made a real move for the first time in years. And it was a brilliant one. The Heat were able to land Norman Powell, a guy who was nearly an all-star in the Western Conference last season, for basically a bag of chips. All they had to give up was Kevin Love and Kyle Anderson, two veteran pieces who really weren't seeing the floor much to end last season anyway. Norman Powell was fantastic in 2025, averaging 21.8 points per game on highly efficient shooting splits of 48% from the field, 42% from 3, and 80% from the line. For stretches of this season, he was even the Clippers' leading scorer. He was that good. So the reason Miami isn't higher on this list is because I'm not completely sold on the Powell-Tyler Hero backcourt fit. Both are talented shot creators, but neither is a high-level playmaker. So there's a real chance that the offense turns into a lot of your turn, my turn, which has never really translated to winning at the highest level. If Hero can grow as a playmaker and get Powell the ball in his sweet spots, it could really work. Last year, 79% of Powell's threes and 60% of his twos were assisted, meaning he's more than capable of capitalizing off the attention that Tyler Hero demands. This trade was outright highway robbery, part of a 3-team deal that also sent John Collins to LA. Miami was also able to re-sign Davion Mitchell, who gave them a real defensive spark late last season. And while they did lose Duncan Robinson to the Pistons in free agency, Powell more than makes up for that. However, there are still questions about how this all fits together on the floor. But there's no doubt that Miami certainly got better, and that's why they're my 7th most improved team heading into 2026. Now, coming in at number 6, I've got the Orlando Magic. Orlando made their splash very early, pulling off a blockbuster trade for Desmond Bane during the NBA Finals. In return, they gave up KCP, Cole Anthony, 4 first-round picks, and a pick swap. I said in my previous videos that I wasn't the biggest fan of the price they had to pay, but what I won't do is sit here and say that Orlando didn't get better, because they did. They also made an underrated signing in Tyus Jones on a 1-year, $7 million deal. He can give them some real steady bench minutes as a floor general and add some much-needed shooting to a team that lacked it sorely last year. But here's my issue with Orlando. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Perimeter shooting was a glaring weakness for the team last year, and Desmond Bane's addition certainly addresses that on paper, but shooting wasn't their only problem. Touches and usage was also a serious issue, especially between Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner. When Paolo was out, Franz looked like a superstar, putting up nearly 30 points per game. But when Paolo returned, Wagner's role shrunk dramatically, and he just simply wasn't able to maintain that level of play. Now, they're adding Bane, another guy who's going to want the ball in his hands a lot over the course of a game. Let's be real, you don't trade 4 first-round picks for someone to just stand in the corner and wait for kickouts. And if that is Desmond Bane's role, then this move just simply makes no sense. A guy like Luke Kennard probably would have been a much better addition for a lot cheaper. Instead, the Magic now have 3 players, Paolo, Franz, and Bane, who are all going to want to create with the ball in their hands and need touches to be effective. That kind of dynamic rarely works unless it is perfectly balanced, or one, if not 2 of these guys have to really sacrifice. Now, I'm just not fully convinced that Orlando is going to pull it off. To be fair, they still do have some great defensive pieces and solid